Hi guys, welcome to session 48 of Java Full Stack Made Easy. So in this session we will be setting up the Angular environment, which is very much easier if you set it up right. So we will see the Angular setup one by one after another. What all are the essentials for Angular development, and also what all softwares will be required for us to set up the Angular development environment. So let's go ahead and understand the requirement, and then we will see how can we go and install every single thing. So let me just note down the things what all are required for the same. Then my machine also I have not installed anything. Okay, so let's first just make a list of things that will be required for Angular development. The first thing that we would need is Node.js. Okay, so this is something very important for your Angular development. So we will require Node.js to run Angular applications. So we can download it from the official site, that is nodejs.org. So let's see, with the Node.js, uh, the node package manager npm also gets installed. Okay, so now we only need a node.js. With that, npm also comes up, and after that we would need a Angular command line interface. Angular CLI needs to be installed. Okay, so after that, obviously, since we have already seen JavaScript and HTML before on VS Code, so the editor that we will be using will be VS Code editor itself, and there are some extensions that would be required in our VS Code, and these are the optional extensions. You may or may not have them, and if you have them, it is well and good. Okay, so the extensions would be the Angular language service. That's one. And then you will need ESLint, and which is again optional one. This is used for the clean code. And if you want a prettier formatting, then you can also install a prettier extension. That's again an optional stuff. Fine. So the main thing that will be required for us is gonna be what will be Node.js and the Angular CLI. So these will be two important things that would be required for us to run our Angular application. So let's just go to these uh, programs and see whether Node is installed or not. So if you see, you cannot see anything called as Node in my program files. Here as well you cannot see anything called as Node. So I'll go to the official website of Node and then try to install the Node.js from there. Okay, all right, so I want a Node.js. So this is the Node.js website. So I want to get the Node.js. The LTS is something which I am looking for. So that is the version 22.9 is the LTS while I'm recording these videos. So let me go and get that. Okay, let's get the Windows installer here. So Node will get the Node MSI file, and which we can easily download and install. So it's getting downloaded. We'll wait for it to be downloaded, and once it gets downloaded, we can simply install it. So installation is also not difficult, so we can just go for next. You can see in program files it is getting installed. So I'll simply select all the default options and I will install it. Fine. So once this Node.js gets installed, I will also get the npm with the Node.js itself. So as per the requirement which we have discussed here, what we need is Node.js is something which we need, and with that npm gets installed. So you can see that completed Node.js setup wizard. So once this setup is done, we can check if we get the node or not in our command by typing in the node version. So we can go to the command prompt cmd, and then here I can simply say node hyphen v. That should tell me the version of the node that I have installed. So you can see that just now I installed a Node.js version v22.19. So that's what I have installed. And also let's just check if npm has come up with it or not by using a npm hyphen version. So npm version 10.9.3 is installed. Now that was the first step that we will be using to set up our Angular environment. The next thing that is required is the Angular CLI. So to install an Angular CLI, the command will be we will be using node package managers to install these things now. So the command I will write here first, npm, that is node package manager install. So I'm going to install the Angular CLI by using an npm. So hyphen g here indicates that it should be a global installation. If you don't give hyphen g, it will be a local installation. So I'm giving it as hyphen g, a global installation, and then the command at the rate Angular slash CLI. So by doing this, we should be getting a Angular CLI being installed. Yeah, so this is correct now. Angular CLI. So that should actually install the Angular. Fine. So I'm trying to install that. And we should obviously it depends on your the internet speed. So depending upon your speed, it gets installed. So by the time this gets installed, we will also check, or we will also talk about what all are the other things that will be required after this. So once this gets installed, so what we are simply going to do is we are going to check if the installation is correct or not, or uh, whether the Angular has been installed or not by using a Angular command, that is ng. So ng version will tell us what Angular version is being installed. So in my machine, the Angular CLI 20 is installed. So which is again the latest version that generally gets installed when we simply hit the command npm install hyphen g Angular slash CLI. Or if you want a specific version of Angular to be installed in your machine, at that time what you can do is you can actually write this command, that is you can modify this command npm install hyphen g at the rate Angular CLI at any version you can specify for installing a specific version in your machine. So there can be certain mismatches when you install Angular and Node.js. So in my machine there was nothing installed, neither a Node.js was installed nor the Angular was installed. So it became dead easy for me to uh, install the latest Node.js and install the latest Angular as well. So what I'm going to do is I will be going to my D drive. So if you remember, uh, in my machine I created a directory for HTML, right? So let's go and check that. So I actually created a D drive, and there Java full stack made easy UI is the directory which I created, and within the UI directory I'm going to create another directory and call it as Angular demos. Okay, so this is the directory I am targeting, the Angular demos. Okay, so I want to open a command on this, so I'll just type in the cmd there. So you can see that I am navigated to Angular demos. So I'll get into this particular directory and try to create a new Angular project. And to create a new Angular project, so what I can simply do is I can hit the ng command and then say new, and I can simply give any project name. So this is my demo 1. So I'll be giving it as the demo 1, or I can give it as my application or my app or anything. Fine. So but the moment I try to install this particular application with ng new demo 1, so I should be getting a newer file structure in Angular. But since I'm an old Angular developer, I prefer having the old file structure of Angular with the app.module.ts and all those stuff, which obviously you will come to know in the later sessions why those files are required. If you directly hit this particular command, you may not get the app.module.ts, which you can again regenerate it later. uh, uh, or what we can simply do is we can say ng new demo 1, and then we can use a flag called as hyphen hyphen no stand alone. Okay, so if I give this tag no stand alone, then what happens is it'll generate me the Angular file structure with the older file structure. Fine. So it also asked me whether this uses data with the Angular team or not. That's what it is asking. So I may say yes or I may say no to it. Okay, so it says global setting is disabled, and the CSS type file which I want, it is asking, so I have selected it as CSS, and the server side rendering SSSR, that is static site generation. So as for now I don't need it, so I'll just click on N. And it also zoneless application without zone.js is what it is asking for. So in this case also, as of now I'll say no. And then which AI tool am I using? So as for now, again, I'm not using any AI tool for the same. So it's generating me every single thing, every single file gets generated. So once this file gets generated, after that we should be seeing that our first Angular project is ready. And you can see there are so many files being created when I have issued a command called as ng new. So that ng is the Angular CLI command itself. If there is no Angular CLI command, we have to create the Angular project by creating all these files which will be required for us in our later sessions. So it is better if we go for the uh, Angular CLI rather than we manually creating the stuff. So you can notice that again in my UI, a demo one in Angular demos is created. So this is something, an Angular project is already created for me. So what I'm gonna do is I will start my VS Code, and within the VS Code I will be using this particular application. So let's start that VS Code, and I'll just close up everything that I have done there, and I will open the folder that is my Java full stack made easy UI, Angular demos, and demo 1. So I'll just select this particular directory. So I'm not gonna do anything as for now, because this is just a simple test whether my Angular application is ready to use or not. So I'm just gonna use this as for now. So then I will go for the terminal and select a new terminal, and this terminal I'd simply change this terminal to a command line, so command prompt. And on this terminal, what I'm gonna do is, since I'm already, if you can notice that my terminal shows me demo, Angular demos, and demo 1. So demo 1 is actually an Angular project, and from within the Angular project I can run the command called as ng serve that will actually start my Angular application. So I'll do a ng serve, and I can also do a ng serve -o that will open a browser for me. So if I just hit a option -o, it is going to open a browser for me directly. If I don't do that, then I have to manually uh, go and type the address, that is localhost :4200, which is going to be the default port for Angular. So as for now, I'm just going to do a ng serve -o so that I want it to be opened into a browser. So the moment I hit that, you can notice that my first Angular application is up and running. So we have actually set up the Angular environment, and we have actually created a simple Angular project. And what is this project and everything, we will discuss in our next session. So as for now, it was just, this particular video was clearly focusing only on the uh, environment setup of Angular. So it is pretty much easy. So for your reference, what I'm gonna do is I will create a repository again into my Git, and provide you the steps for the same. So hope you have already enjoyed this setting up. If there is any problem while you are setting up the Angular environment, you can always comment on the videos, or do reach out to me on LinkedIn. So see you guys in the next session, where we will talk about our first Angular application, and what is the file structure, what file is being created, what all files will be required, and what files we are going to edit, and how are we going to write our first Angular application. So see you in the next video. Thanks for your patience.